What is up? It is Paristtmpped, Paristtmpped, and we are back with a better video. As you can see, I'm outside. The water is to my left. It is beautiful. Like, this is the weather I've been missing. Spring. That winter shit, I was in my cocoon. Fuck that. Hell no. I was hibernating. There was no way I was going to be outside during the storms, the treacherous winds, the icicles. Like, that shit was crazy. I was at my beard grow trying to keep my face warm. As you can see, I got my handy dandy notebook. So recently I made a video. I'm saying recently, it was a few months back. I made a video about just working at not completely racist environment, but it wasn't an environment that was meant for people like me. If y'all hear a bird chirping, we're outside. That's just gonna have to be what it is. But yeah, it wasn't an environment that was, yeah. You know what I'm saying. Working at the job, like, at the time, you know, I didn't have like money in my pocket and I was trying to do performances. You know, I was trying to get myself out there and I needed the funds to do it, so I had to do as many jobs as I could. I was doing after school programs and fucking like working at all types of shit. So I'm working at this job. It wasn't my after school job, thank God. I actually like that job. It was very chill. But working at this job, it was like every time I did something wrong, he would yell, like my boss, scream at me, "Why did you do that?" And, you know, because, you know, it was a new environment and type of situation where I'd never been in, I thought it was normal. I was like, okay, well, this is just how it is because I need to learn. Maybe he just, you know, tough love, you know, coaching, whatever. But, like, keep in mind, I'm working at this kind of job because I need extra money. I've worked at different kind of establishments that, you know, I've had a full-time job before, but he's telling me, you know, I'm helping you for when you get a full-time job. I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, you know, I've had one, but, you know, I'm not one to explain myself to people anymore. You know, I'm growing up and realizing that's a childish thing to do. So I would go there and work. You know, he would yell and I would fix it. You know, whatever I would do something wrong, I would fix it. Because, you know, that's just how it is with work. You got to fix it. But it was getting to the point where, you know, customers didn't want me taking their orders because, you know, and he accepted them. So then it was getting weird. I'm like, that's kind of weird as hell. So I did speak on it on this channel. So if y'all want to go watch that video, I'll put it up here. If y'all, I don't know, tap the link in my bio. I don't know how the hell in the description. I don't know how YouTube does it, but the video it is on this channel. And it was tough, you know, because I did end up leaving. When I posted the video, I was still there. I was nervous to post it because, you know, I'm like, I'm here. I'm still in the environment, but to me, it was helping me realize that I need to get the fuck out. It was helping me gain the courage to go. Oh, sorry, there's like these old ladies. Hello. I know you can come. No problem.
Looking for birds?
Yeah, I mean, one's talking to me right now.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
The time when I posted the video, I was still there, you know, so it was like I was realizing that what I'm going through isn't well. But I think at the time I had just put in my 2 weeks, maybe. I think either like that day or like a few days later or the day before. I don't even know how it went. But yeah, I did end up quitting. But because, like I said, money was tight as hell, I didn't leave on a bad note. I didn't want to be, you know, I didn't want to be that person that, like, I don't know what the fuck was going on in my mind. You know, I stayed there. I kept working. I worked hard. You know, I made sure to give it my all until the last day. And I told him, you know, if you ever need somebody, call me. I would prefer if you don't, but I wouldn't mind. You know, the job wasn't that bad. It was just moments, like the screaming and that customer, you know, and how you handled that. Because, you know, even McDonald's has better things in place. So I don't know. I was just really learning how to stand up for myself at that job. It was hard to do, but I did it. Realized, you know, I may have been mistreated. You know, I'm like, I mean, not really mistreated, but I may have just accepted being treated wrongfully. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how else to say it. It's just one of those.
You're referring to a few different things when you say being treated. To give you...
Okay, so y'all fucking with my Motorola Razr. Every time I whip out this phone, people be like, "What the fuck? Is that a phone?" I'm like, "Hell yes." Am I chopped because I got a flip? Listen, I got an iPhone too. I keep my iPhone too. Like, hold up, just in case, for people who like, oh, I need to text you. Like, I still got my iPhone, but I honestly prefer my Motorola Razr. And it's not even a sponsorship. I just literally love this phone. But back to the subject at hand. Nah. No, I literally had to come to the terms that because I didn't stand up for myself, and because I didn't just realize this isn't the environment for me, and because I was so worried and broke as hell and in my head about a lot of shit, I feel like I just accepted a lot of shit. That's kind of what I used to do in my past, and I'm learning how to not do that anymore. It's a thing that it's interesting because I ended up needing to hit them up, because I needed a reference for my my next job that I was getting. And I'm like, hey, what's up? Is it cool if you give me, because they said I was a great worker. They were cool with me all the way until the last day. It was like, they were nice as hell. They were helping me up, telling customers about me and stuff like that, telling them kind of the wrong reason why I was leaving. But hey, if you want to see it that way, whatever floats your boat. So I'm thinking, okay, like, the least it can do is help me to get a better job. And they didn't answer me at all. They didn't answer my call. They didn't, none of that shit. So then next thing you know, tax season come around, and I'm like, okay, well, I need my W-2. So like, I end up calling like, hey, I need my W-2. He goes, oh yeah, I've had it. I'm like, you could called or something like that. Y'all have my number. And he's like, oh, okay, bet I'll send you a picture. Like, what's your number? I'm like, what the hell? You have my number, first of all, because you have everything. Like, you have all my information, because you have the W-2 with. I see it in the picture that you have it with it. It's one of those things where I'm remembering the smart shit, that little smart shit, and I'm like, all right, I'm glad I left. Like, it was just not the environment for me. I ended up getting the job regardless. They didn't hit me back up, but I got the job. And it was in a completely different shift. Of course, it has its challenges and stuff like that, but in terms of just treatment and everything, it really is an entirely different environment. And I didn't consider how important it is to just be in spaces where you are valued. Even if it's not for like me being myself, but it's just my work ethic. Because I'm not trying to be doing corporate for the rest of my life. I'm trying to be a fucking full-time artist. Let's just be frank. I'm doing this to be able to even just survive as an artist. But if I'm going to be doing this, at least let me be in a space where I'm not like being picked thin to the point where I'm like having to hide it because there's someone there that doesn't want me there. Like, I don't got time. I want to be able to be people don't got, of course they don't got to want me there, but it doesn't change the fact that I'm working. Don't be here then. Shit, McDonald's had a no racism, no something policy. If you was given some type of coworker smack like that, we literally had the right to say, well, we're not going to serve you. But I'm realizing, though, that's a bigger corporation. So I guess with that comes more, protection. And plus, I was like fucking 16 working at McDonald's. So I don't know what it's like there now. I can't speak for the current situation. Don't be afraid to stand up for yourself. I learned that. And don't be afraid to understand that you deserve better. Just like that. Don't be afraid to speak on it. I feel like when I was going through it, I was like, let me just shut the fuck up, because I work here. I'm new to the area. I'm understanding what I got to do, and I'm trying to just become an artist. I'm trying to be an artist, so this don't matter. But like, it was changing me. In order for me to become an artist, I have to be confident in who I am, and I can't just allow myself to, like I said, be picked thin. Learn that about yourself. And that's the video, y'all. That's the update. I wanted y'all to kind of, get like a part 2 of kind of what happened. I feel like I spoke on it and I kind of left it at that, but I've been reading a lot of comments and I'm realizing I want to update y'all. Y'all want updates. Y'all want to understand me more. Y'all want to get more of a deep dive of who I am, and I'll share that with y'all. My website is dropping in 6 days? 5 days? So Paristtmpped.com. If y'all want to be on that, I'm going to be selling freedom fragments. If y'all haven't been keeping up, those are going to be patches that I'm going to be selling because I'm trying to become an artist full time, y'all, and I got to start somewhere. So anyone that buys a patch is helping me towards going towards my future. If y'all want to tap in, that would be amazing. What else? I just dropped an EP called Interlude City. Me and my band are actually going to be linking up together to make some music and do little performances. If y'all want to stay in the loop of that, I suggest y'all be on the lookout for my website. My website's going to be keeping up with basically everything I'm doing. I'm going to be making little posts on YouTube, but I feel like my website's going to be like my main platform where I'm going to be doing a lot of personal updates. And then soon my Patreon is going to be chef's kiss, y'all. It's coming out in like what, 2-3 weeks, but let's focus on the website first. There's a lot of shit. This is very new to me. I didn't think this was going to be happening this year, and here we are. Y'all making this happen. Y'all are creating Paristtmpped universe. You're creating the universe and validating the experience, and I am greatly appreciative. I'm very appreciative of it. Yeah, so I'll catch y'all soon.